This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guest and are not necessarily those of WPSL or WSTU. This station does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without the express permission and written consent of this station. Phone lines are open for your questions and comments. Call 220-9788 or 340-1590. And now, here's your host.
And the host of Treasure Coast Car Guys, Gary Mariarossi. Welcome.
Hi, Veronica.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Beautiful day out.
A little humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of humid for this time of year.
We finally got some rain, though. My
thank
goodness.
Yeah.
We need it. Wash those cars off.
Yeah. Yeah, like free water.
We'll take
I'm
it.
always happy with free water.
We'll take it. That's excellent. So we have, today is April 10th already. Unbelievable. A third of the month of April is gone. And here we are. Tax day this coming Sunday, right?
Wow, yeah.
Everybody get their
I was
taxes
early
on?
this year, so I'm not even paying attention to that this year.
Good for you.
Usually I'm there on April 15th.
I'm a procrastinator,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yes. And the 15th on a Sunday, so I guess we have till Monday.
Extra day,
we get
yeah.
an extra day, right?
Wow. So, yeah, one extra day always helps.
We'll take it. Well, here we are in the middle of, almost in the middle of April, and we are in full swing for our spring collection sales event. And
Explain to us what that is.
that is Lexus promotion, national promotion, which of course we take part in at Treasure Coast Lexus, and that is an
Incentives from the manufacturer?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. And the focus is on L certified vehicles. So L certified, as we've talked about before, great alternative to buying brand new. And L certified, the program is all about bringing that car up to new car standards. And so this is one of the big sales of the year where Lexus really gets behind and puts some incentives out there. And it's a great way for a lot of people to, it's their introduction to the brand.
Sure.
So we find that Lexus is so smart, they do all these studies. And we find that over half the people that their first purchase with Lexus is L certified, over 50% of the time their next purchase is a brand new Lexus.
Well, you got a great trade.
We have a great trade, and when we say it all the time. Once we get there, we spoil you. So if we can get them to kind of try the brand out in L certified at a significant savings, over buying a new car, there's less risk, I think I guess looks at it that way. And so that's a great entry into the brand, and where they get to kind of try us out. And like I said, over 50,
It's been checked like unbelievably.
incredible.
It's still like brand new. It's a luxury vehicle, and it's got a phenomenal warranty.
It has the best warranty, according to Kelley Blue Book, and of course we agree. It has the best warranty in the automotive industry. We have the best L certified program, hands down. And when you think about it, we take that certified vehicle. When we take it in, obviously, there are certain vehicles we can certify, and there are certain vehicles we can't.
Years ago, there was a commercial on TV. It was really cute. I'm not even sure what brand it was or if it was just for used cars. But there was a person driving down the street, and in the seat next to them was this big, giant warranty. It was like a roll of paper, and the car starts to steam, and the warranty gets out and runs away.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's like your car breaks down as soon as it's out of warranty.
That's funny.
It was a very cute commercial.
That's good. With Lexus, with the L certified, the first step is we have to determine if that car even qualifies to be considered as a certified vehicle. So
now, what happens if it doesn't? Do you still sell that vehicle, or you only keep the L certified vehicles?
we typically will only keep L certified
Okay.
vehicles. Now we will. I'll qualify that. We will keep vehicles that aren't certified if they're outside the parameters. In other words. We can only certify vehicles now that are 2013 model year and newer.
Okay.
So if we have a 2010 or 11 or 12, we are not allowed to certify that vehicle. But If it passes our inspection and it's a good car, we will keep that vehicle.
Okay, what if I trade in a 2013 that just has gobs of miles on it?
No, the
Not gonna
vehicle
happen.
must have under 70,000 miles. So 2013 or newer and less than 70,000 miles.
Okay.
So 69,999, we can certify the vehicle. 70,000, we cannot.
Sorry. Okay.
So there's no gray area there. So 2013 or newer, less than 70,000 miles, that's the first step. Then we look at vehicle history. Does it have a clean Carfax? No structural damages. So now we've determined, okay, that car is a candidate to be certified. Then we put it in the service department where it goes through a 161-point inspection. And it's really interesting because when we're training salespeople, which they complain about it all the time until we make them do it. And then they go, wow, that was great. But we actually have them come in one day and we get them in early in the shop and they have to follow a vehicle through the certification process, through that inspection process. So they wear old clothes and they don't just observe.
They walk around with a clipboard?
No.
No?
No, because the techs are funny.
Okay.
They'll put them to work.
Okay.
And we tell them to.
Uh-huh.
We want them to participate. We want them to really see and feel and participate in what it takes to certify a car for us. The word certify gets thrown around so loosely in our industry, but L certified is a whole different being. And we put them through that so that they can literally tell the guests, the next guest they're speaking with, firsthand what we do to inspect that vehicle. We inspect everything. We measure everything. And the whole philosophy, really, of the L-certified program is to bring that vehicle up to new car standards mechanically. So brake pads get replaced, new tires go on it. If the battery is not at least 60%.
See, those are wear and tear things.
Yes.
The quality of the vehicle, it speaks for itself. So that should be kind of easy. That should be the easy part. But the wear and tear stuff would, of course, you can't help that.
No. But if Lexus's standards are, if the tires measure 5/30 seconds or better, then it will pass. At Treasure Coast Lexus, we bump that up to 6:30 seconds. So at 5:30 seconds, Lexus says we can leave the tires on there, but we'll still replace them at 5:30 seconds. We don't consider that enough left on the tire. Same thing with brakes. So excuse me. Even though those are wear and tear items, as part of the certification process, we still inspect everything. The battery, gets replaced if it needs to be. Belts, hoses, we look at it all.
Yeah. You can buy a used car anywhere else, and that's not going to be checked.
Oh, gosh,
I mean, you could drive it away, and within 3 days, you may need to have those brakes done.
Oh, you come in for your first oil change. It happens all the time. And, hey, we need a set of tires. We need brakes. It's a $1,500 bill.
And you're like, I just bought this car, but now with an L certified.
Not with an L certified, because it's all about the long-term relationship with the guest for Lexus. That's what it's all about for us. So the best way to ensure that is have a great purchase experience and have a great ownership experience. So that starts with, did we sell you a great vehicle? Excuse me. And that is the whole theme, so to speak, of the certified program. So when we put somebody in a L-certified vehicle, and I heard a really interesting description of L-certified, because we talk a lot about the unlimited mileage warranty, which is fabulous. And we'll get into that in a minute. But a warranty is basically insurance, right? And it's insurance in case something goes wrong, just like all insurance, just like your homeowner's insurance, health insurance, right? Life insurance. You only get to use insurance.
You don't want to use
You
insurance.
don't want to use insurance. No.
No, we don't want to use insurance.
And so the L certified program is more about assurance. And
Okay.
it's just as much about that where we'll back the car up 1,000,000%. Lexus will back that car up like no one else will. But our objective really is to not have anything go wrong in the first place.
Right.
Because, yes, it's great to know that an L-certified vehicle has that warranty, so if it breaks down, we'll fix it. It comes with roadside assistance. We'll come get you. And we will do all of that. And there's no deductible, and there's no nonsense. We give you a loaner car, and we fix it. But isn't it better if that never happens?
Right.
And that's really where the L-certified program starts.
See, an L certified to me is barely broken in.
Recently obsessed over.
And
the trades.
yeah, and you get, it's if there were any flaws, they would have come to the surface with the first owner, because it is a man-made product, and sometimes there are things that could go wrong.
And that's why we have the warranty.
And
Because you're exactly right.
that's a phenomenal, though, to pick it up as an L-certified vehicle, save all that, but know that you got a great car.
Peace of mind. I do a lot of driving, so you just think about the last time you saw a Lexus on the side of the road. And that's just not what happens.
Yeah.
And particularly with L-certified vehicles, because, again, anything that needed to be addressed in that car before we sold it, before Lexus would allow us to sell it as an L-certified vehicle, was addressed when it went through the process.
Sure.
So, talk about peace of mind, and let's face it, what is the scariest proposition for a guest purchasing a pre-owned car?
Yeah, what can go wrong?
And how was it taken care of before? And what's under the hood that I can't see? And is that really working? Is it not working? Because quite frankly, you can pop the hood on one of these cars right now, and it's kind of funny to me sometimes, because guests will still do that. I think they do it only because
they pop the hood?
Yeah.
And stand there and scratch their head? Because that's what I would do. New cars, I mean, it looks different under there from years ago.
Well, it's all covered
It's
now.
all like, yeah, what? Maybe they're checking to see if it's clean.
And you know what? That is very true. But it's funny because I think it's just habit. That's what they always do when they go to look at a used car.
Kick a tire and pop the hood?
That's what I'm supposed to do. But it's interesting, I don't, because you can't see anything. So
Now I'm going to come in and go, Gary, put it on the lift.
oh, there we go. And we'll be happy to do that, by the way.
I want to look underneath.
But even underneath is enclosed now for noise reduction.
Okay.
And aerodynamics.
Okay.
So you can't see much from
There's
underneath.
nothing under there either?
Not much.
Darn.
So the peace of mind knowing that we put it through those paces, and we did that inspection, and then we marked it certified, and then we're going to stand behind that vehicle with an unlimited mileage warranty. Let's face it, Lexus isn't going to let us do that if that car wasn't tip-top when we sold it.
And yes, folks, you heard right, unlimited mileage warranty.
Unlimited. And the term on it is 6 years from the in-service date. So, example, we have a 2016 ES we just took in on trade. It's on the lot. It's got 15,000 miles on it. Beautiful car.
Wow.
And so
yeah, that's not broken yet either.
No.
15,000, that's nothing.
So 2016 model, in-service date was sometime in 2016. So that vehicle, 6 years from the original sale date, is how long the warranty lasts. So you're going to 2022 on that vehicle.
And nobody's counting miles.
No one's counting miles. Under a comprehensive factory warranty. Not the powertrain. Well, it includes the powertrain, but not just the powertrain.
Right.
But, the expensive components. Air conditioning, power motors, technology. That's the big thing now. That stuff is so expensive, and there's no true maintenance program that you can say, I take great care of my car. Yes, you do. And you change the oil when you're supposed to, and you change the fluids when you're supposed to, and you do your brakes and tires, and you rotate your tires when you're supposed to. But what do you do to prolong the life of your navigation system? There's
No, there's no maintenance for that.
no. So
yeah.
when those things go, they'll go,
Mm-hmm.
and those are man-made,
Mm-hmm.
and they're electronic. So that's the real value for us as the dealer with the certified program, because when somebody comes in, and if that that expensive electrical component went, and people come in ready for a fight, they're my navigation, no problem. That's an L certified vehicle. We'll get you a loaner car. We'll order the part. We'll put it in and call you when it's ready.
Now, I wonder how these electronic parts, I mean, here in Florida we have extreme heat, and let's just say you're in Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, somewhere like that. They have that really extreme cold, and these electronic parts are in your car. Your
They
car's, maybe in the garage, but it's still cold in the
It's still
garage.
cold.
It's still hot in the garage.
We have, it's almost, I wouldn't say one's better than the other, but we have extreme weather here in Florida. And you mentioned it at the top of the show. It's really humid out.
Right.
And humidity is, that's hard on a car, because that moisture just kind of gets in everywhere. You can say, well, I never take my car out in the rain. And we have guests that tell us that.
Well, good luck here in Florida.
If you time
you
it right.
can be out and it's beautiful, and it can be raining just a few minutes later.
I'll find a place to hide it.
Really?
I'll get under a bridge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that humidity, like you said, it's
it
everywhere.
permeates
Yeah.
everything. It's in the garage. It's parked on a curb.
Yes.
It's driving it. If it's humid out, which we have a little bit of humidity here in Florida, so that can wreak havoc. And so,
But that warranty gives you peace of mind.
that's the key. And the beautiful thing about the warranty, to tell you just how strongly Lexus will stand behind this product once we've certified it, they'll allow you to purchase additional years of unlimited mileage warranty. So, for example, in the car we just were speaking of, the 2016 ES. So you've got till 2022 with unlimited mileage warranty on that car, right? So we're talking over 4 years. You can purchase an additional 5 years at the time of purchase.
Yeah, I'm going to want to drive something with a different color by then.
But we have
But-
guests that tell us,
I love
keep
it.
my
I'm
cars-
keeping it.
I keep my cars
Yeah.
for 10 years. Well, where do you keep a car for 10 years that you can have literally
Under
under
warranty.
factory warranty, comprehensive factory
Yeah.
warranty for the entire time, and unlimited miles? So a lot of our folks, own their own businesses. They're realtors. They're on the road in sales.
Yeah, you got a great car, and you don't have to worry about the miles.
They're putting 30, 40,000 miles a year on their car.
And realtors usually have nice luxury cars.
Well, they do. They want to make a good impression.
Why
right?
not have one with a really good warranty?
My wife's a realtor. She has one.
Okay,
So-
see how it works out.
And so, but with the miles that they put on the cars, to not have to worry about that, to say, hey, my car can be under a full factory warranty for 9 or 10 years, and I can put 200, 300,000 miles on that car, and something goes wrong, and I still pull into the dealership.
And I get taken
And they
care
fix
of.
it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's great.
Where else does that happen? So that's what the sales event is all about, the spring collection, and it's all about that L certified program and promoting that and getting that word out there, because it is to me, it is absolutely the best kept secret in the car business. I still have people that will come into the dealership, and they're loyal Lexus customers. They've had multiple Lexus, and we'll sit down and I'll start talking to them about L certified and explaining everything that really comes with that.
Right.
And they're amazed. They're shocked. They're really.
Do you get customers that come in looking at new and find out that they can get a brand new L certified vehicle, and they switch from the new to the L certified?
We do. And particularly, we'll talk to people when we ask them how do they use their car, how often do they trade, what kind of miles do they put on. So when we have that guest that says, oh, I keep my car at least 8 or 10 years, and we have those. And then, of course, we have the other end of the spectrum that I want a new car every year.
But someone who says that they keep their car for 8 years, you're not going to put them in a lease either.
No.
Because that would not make sense for them.
No, not if that's their objective. But we will then, listening to our guests, and trying to match up their needs as best we can, we will then educate them about the L Certified program, particularly if they're a guest that is driving a lot of miles. A lot of our guests travel back and forth up north, down here.
Right.
Now, most of them fly, but quite a few of them drive that. So they're up and back, 2,
or
3, 4 times a year.
Like this time of year, a lot of car carriers picking up their vehicles.
We do. But for the folks that
it's always a happy season for me. I know things are going to slow down and go back to normal.
I don't know. I haven't seen the traffic really slow down, but
bit.
But for the folks that are driving that and putting that type of miles on their car, they may come in for a new car, think they want a new car, but we're certainly going to educate them about maybe the L Certified is a better match for their needs.
And what I like is that's okay. I mean, if they came in for a new car and the used car, the L Certified Lexus fits their needs better, you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Well, because again, it's all about the long term.
And you're not trying to sell them something that they really
need.
Doesn't suit them.
No. Because if that guest, our new car warranty, which is a great warranty also, is 4 years, 50,000 miles. And for the majority of our guests,
see, that's more than
plenty.
the competition, definitely.
It is, but for most of our guests, it's plenty. So, but there's a good percentage of our guests that they could drive 50,000 miles in a year. So, yes, for that,
that's easy to do here in Florida.
It certainly is.
It really is. Yeah.
So, it's all about listening to the guest, figuring out what their needs are. And then, we give them information, we educate them, and then our guests are, most Lexus guests are pretty smart, pretty successful. So if you give them all the facts and you give them all the information, then they'll make the decision that is best for them.
Right.
What we'd never want to do though is have them come back, a year later and say, "Hey, I heard you on the radio. I didn't know that the L Certified, gave me all that. I would have bought an L Certified." So, or vice versa. So, our mission is to educate. These are the programs we have. Let's find the one that best matches up with what you're trying to accomplish and what your lifestyle is all about. So, that to have all these tools kind of in the toolbox, is a great advantage to us.
And I can come in and lease an L Certified vehicle as well.
You can. And we have people that do that. Again, realtors, business owners, through their business, there's benefits to leasing.
And we'll talk more about that when we come back. We're going to take a break for news. We'll be back with more Treasure Coast Car Guys. You're listening to WPSL and WSTU.
FNN News, I'm Deborah Roberts. Governor Rick Scott is in campaign mode. He's traveling around the Sunshine State today to garner support for his bid to unseat Democratic Senator Bill Nelson in November. Scott announced his plans to run for U.S. Senate yesterday.
Today, with my wife by my side, I'm announcing I am running for the U.S. Senate for the great state of Florida.
Scott has to step down as governor because of term limits and says Washington lawmakers should also serve for just a limited amount of time. Senator Bill Nelson is about to face his toughest and most expensive re-election fight. That's what FSU political science professor Carol Weissert said after Governor Rick Scott announced yesterday he will challenge Nelson. The Democratic senator is in his third term, and Weissert says the Republican governor's visibility and access to money will pose big challenges to Nelson. Speaking of money, Weissert tells News 13 she expects the race will cost the candidates more than $100 million. In the meantime, Senator Bill Nelson says the misuse of social media has to be brought under control. The Florida Democrat met with embattled Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg yesterday and says he hopes Zuckerberg gets the message about how vital privacy is and how important it is that Facebook needs to secure the privacy of its users.
The message I wanted to convey to him that if we don't rein in the misuse of social media, none of us are going to have any privacy anymore.
Zuckerberg is getting ready for 2 days of congressional testimony this week. Senator Nelson said the privacy of millions of Americans is threatened. Zuckerberg is expected to apologize for his company's data sharing controversy. He will also be questioned about the impact of phony news stories on the 2016 presidential election. With news on the Florida News Network, I'm Deborah Roberts.
You know the old saying about the fox guarding the henhouse? That's what happened at Facebook. Each day, millions of Americans post, share, and comment on Facebook and trust Facebook to act responsibly with their data. But the opposite is true. Facebook has been sloppy and reckless with consumer data, and it's time for Congress to do something about it. But New York Democrat Chuck Schumer says of Facebook,
I think overall it's been a very positive force.
And Schumer thinks the solution is,
I think they should do more on their own, for sure.
Facebook has proven that it can't regulate itself. Facebook was charged by the Federal Trade Commission with deceiving consumers. It's being sued for fraud after exposing the data of millions to a group that used it for political purposes. And of course, Facebook allowed Russians to influence our elections. Call Senator Bill Nelson at 202-224-5274. Tell him Facebook failed consumers. It's time for Congress to act to protect our data. Paid for by American Future Fund.
His opponents are taking aim at Governor Rick Scott now that he's entering the race for the U.S. Senate. Brandon Wolf of Tallahassee, who survived the massacre at Pulse nightclub, says Scott seems devoid of empathy or human compassion.
5 days after the Pulse nightclub shooting, he was asked if he would wear a ribbon to honor the 49 lives that were lost at Pulse. Just to wear a ribbon, he was asked twice, and both times he refused.
Wolf says Scott was the NRA's best buddy in Tallahassee and promoted more gun-friendly policies than any other Florida governor. Leon County commissioners are expected to pass a new gun control ordinance later today. It would close a loophole that allows firearms to be sold at gun shows without a criminal background check or a waiting period. The Tallahassee Democrat says 5 of the 7 commissioners said they will vote to approve the new law, which was proposed following the school shooting massacre in Parkland. A big crowd is expected for the public hearing that starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Deborah Roberts, FNN News.
Shop now for your like-new L-certified Lexus from Treasure Coast Lexus. Shop now during the Spring Collection sales event. Come test drive a beautiful like-new L-certified Lexus today at Treasure Coast Lexus. Right now, choose from in-stock pre-owned Lexus inventory like the L-certified Lexus IS, ES, or RX. All available with special discounted pricing. And when you shop during the Spring Collection sales event, take advantage of financing for as little as 2.9% up to 60 months. That's right, L-certified IS, ES, and RX. All with unbeatable L-certified warranties. As always, Treasure Coast Lexus offers the highest level of customer service. Stop by their state-of-the-art Lexus showroom and experience the Treasure Coast Lexus difference. Experience amazing. Be sure to stop in to see the brand new LS 500 at Treasure Coast Lexus, US 1 south of Midway Road, Fort Pierce. Online at treasurecoastlexus.com. You're listening to the Treasure Coast Car Guys on WPSL Digital 1590 and WSTU Digital 1450. Phone lines are open for your questions and comments. And now, here's your host.
And we're back with the Treasure Coast Car Guys. Be sure to stop in and see that new LS 500.
Oh, yes, indeed. We have one sitting right in the middle of the showroom floor.
Mm-hmm.
Black on black. It
Ooh.
is impressive.
Well, it's got my name on it, huh?
It does. Come on. I can't hold it much longer.
Oh,
though.
black on
You gotta
black.
get over
That's
there.
so perfect.
Yeah, we just got it in. It's just they nailed this.
Is it
one.
limo-like?
You know, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But still a fun car to drive.
Okay.
You know, they didn't take the fun out of it.
Right.
So, but it looks like it could be a limo.
Sure.
Especially the black on black.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. I mean, the one on the showroom floor is fully loaded. All the technology, massaging front and rear seats.
Why not?
I mean, so that's a fun car to take a drive in. But
Like a day spa on wheels.
it's anything you want it to
Yeah.
be. But most importantly, it's quiet. It rides like a dream, and great performance. So just again, they just nailed that car, and we've been waiting for a while. It was delayed a couple of times, but they just wanted it perfect, and I'm happy to say that it is perfect. So. Great response so far. We've sold every one that we've gotten in, and we just have the one on the showroom floor now to show
Only
people.
one, folks.
Yeah, yes,
Have
it
to
is.
wait for the next one.
We've got a couple more coming in, but they're coming in as quickly as they come in. We're selling them. So for a while there, we didn't have anything to show anybody. They were already, they were pre-ordered and sold before
You
they got
get
there.
out the brochure, right?
But the brochure does this car
nothing like
no
the real thing.
justice.
Yeah.
So we're very happy to actually have one to show people.
So we went to break to the news talking about leasing and leasing L certified. How does that work?
Well, it works the same way that it works with a new car. The again, going back to Lexus standing behind that vehicle, Lexus Financial will allow us to lease the L certified vehicles as well, and typically that's a 3-year lease, 36 months.
Okay.
And standard is 12 to 15,000 miles a year, and all the advantages of leasing a new car apply to leasing a certified pre-owned car. You can get less money out of pocket, lower monthly payment. For a lot of our folks who do it, there are tax advantages, that they reap by going in that direction. And also, if you're a guest who says, I really like a different car, a newer car, or every 2 or 3 years, then leasing is a great
It's always
option.
fun getting a new car.
Oh, we think so.
It is.
We strongly encourage it.
Yeah.
So if you're that guest that says, yeah, in 3 years I'm going to be ready for another one, and then leasing is a great option. And once again, it actually is an option for us. For a lot of manufacturers, that's not an option once you move into pre-owned. So, but that's
Yeah, and another thing that happens when you get a new car, if you're making a payment, you don't have any equity.
no, you don't.
So you can't trade it in that soon
no.
because you're upside down.
And just leasing in general, the advantage to leasing, the biggest advantage to me of leasing is all the risk goes to the manufacturer. Because at the end of that lease, whether it's an L certified vehicle or a brand new Lexus, the manufacturer sets the residual value at the time you purchase the vehicle.
Right.
And that's etched in stone. It's on your contract. It can't be changed. It's not negotiable. And that's what the manufacturer is projecting that car's value will be 3 years from now.
Well, it's like that's a rental agreement and you get a car too.
It's a 3-year test drive is,
Yeah.
what we, is what we term it.
I like that better.
And so when you get to the end, let's just say the residual value on the car was $20,000.
Okay.
That's what Lexus projected that car was going to be worth. And you come to the end of the lease, and at the end of our lease, you have options. You can buy the car for that $20,000 residual value. That's also called a guaranteed future value. And if you love the car, it's the best car you've ever driven, and you say, okay, I did my 3-year test drive. I basically paid for half the car through the lease. I'm going to pay for the other half now, and I'm going to keep this car forever.
Okay.
Or it's a great car for my daughter, or for whatever reason. So you can buy the car.
Or it would be fun to take the LS home.
Absolutely. But you can buy that car for the $20,000 residual. That's one option. The other option is you can trade the car back in on another vehicle, which is certainly what we hope you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's say that
Now, would it matter new, used, or
No,
okay? So
it
you
does
could pick
not.
up a different L certified vehicle as well.
you could do whatever, whichever direction you want to go at that point. And the determining factor there is the value of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Lexus projected 3 years ago the car was going to be worth $20,000. 3 years, a lot of things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Markets change,
Right.
gas prices.
Right. Everybody's buying trucks.
It's not an exact science.
Okay.
So let's say that the car, when we appraise it, it's worth $21,000. Well, Lexus says, you can buy it for $20,000.
Okay.
So there's $1,000 there in that example of equity
Mm-hmm.
that you can take advantage of. You say, okay, I'm going to trade that car in, and we're going to apply that $1,000 toward my next purchase.
Okay.
You get the benefit of that.
Mm-hmm.
You get the $1,000. Let's take the flip side. Let's say Lexus again said the car was going to be worth $20,000 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big SUV. Gas prices go up.
Right.
And the value of SUVs drops. And that car's worth $18,000 now, book value.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had not leased the car, you would lose that value.
Sure.
But because we leased the car and Lexus said it was going to be worth $20,000, it's now worth $18,000. You simply turn the keys back into Lexus, and Lexus absorbs the $2,000
Mm-hmm.
loss. So if there's a benefit to be had, you get it, or you can take
either
advantage
way.
of it.
Yeah.
If you lose value in the car, Lexus eats the loss.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's what I mean when I say that all the risk is taken on by the manufacturer. I'll give you a great example of that. Let's just say Lexus is right on the money. The residual is spot on. It's within $1.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had this happen. I was in Orlando Sunday. My son lives in Orlando.
Okay.
He teaches high school English in Orlando.
Great.
He leases a Lexus.
Okay.
He was on, have you been to Orlando lately?
I go, yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, construction everywhere.
Yeah.
Traffic like you can't
Yeah.
even believe.
Construction's one of those things that just moves to a different point. Never goes away. It just moves down the road.
It seems to be
Yeah.
that way in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
So he was merging onto, the 408, and somebody hit him and did $4,300 worth of damage
Ooh.
to his Lexus CT.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's leasing that car. Two things. One, if the car had been totaled, when you lease a car with Lexus, gap insurance is included. So, again, you're protected. And gap means that if your car has a balance due of $30,000 and your insurance company says it's totaled but it's only worth $28,000,
And they'll do that.
yes, that $2,000 gap
Uh-huh.
is what gap insurance
Okay.
pays, so that you don't have to come out of pocket with money.
Mm-hmm.
When you purchase a vehicle, a lot of times people will purchase gap insurance. With a Lexus lease, it's included in any lease that we do.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't total his car.
So that's Lexus again taking care of the customer.
Long term. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
about long term. They didn't total his car. It was $4,300 worth of damage. They fixed it. But let's say he had purchased that car instead of leased it. And 3 years from now, he wanted to trade it in. Well, guess what shows up on the Carfax?
Yeah, it's been in a bad accident.
It's been in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Moderate damage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Towed from the scene.
What does it exactly do to the Carfax? I mean, how much are you losing?
Oh, you're
Clean
losing
versus that kind of an accident.
at least $3,000.
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can't certify the car, so that
Mm-hmm.
lowers the value of it again. So if he were to come in or go anywhere to trade that car in 3 years or 4 years, then he would suffer that loss because some knucklehead hit him.
Right.
With a lease, when he gets to the end of the lease, guess what? He'll turn those keys back into Lexus, and Lexus will absorb the lost value.
See, I was sitting here the whole time going, good thing it was a lease because he's going to be getting a new car soon. Because once they're damaged like that,
I don't care how, and they did a wonderful job.
you always
They
got to
really did.
wonder. You're always, then you're
Sure.
second guessing your car.
Sure, well, especially with that type of impact to the front end.
Mm-hmm.
Car's front wheel drive. look, it's never going to be perfect again. So that's the other advantage of leasing the vehicle, because, again, another example of the manufacturer takes all the risk.
And does that insurance kick in and protect the manufacturer then for that loss?
Well, that
With a
Lexus
bad
has
Carfax?
insurance, through they have monster insurance policies to protect them. But the important thing for our guests is that our guest never has to suffer a loss due to any unforeseen event while they're leasing the car.
Right.
When you purchase the car, which many of our guests still do, which is great, we loved it, but they assume all the risk at that point. That same scenario happens, and they're going to suffer a loss, loss in value.
And they're
to the
still
car.
going to want to trade it in once it's fixed.
Absolutely, they don't want it anymore.
Yeah. It's amazing how that goes. I mean, most people kind of feel that way.
They really do, especially folks. Our guests are great because they take such great care of their cars, which is why we love when they trade them in. The cars have been obsessed over. They're immaculate. They're serviced when they're supposed to be serviced. They just do a phenomenal job. And we love it when they come to us to trade their car in, because we know how they've taken care of that car.
Now, if you get into a little accident like that, and this was a little more than a little accident, would you you'd probably be better off taking your car then back to Lexus to have those repairs done. Does that help you at all, or?
Well, we don't have a body shop,
Okay.
but we have a shop that we send most of our work to.
Okay.
And Classic Car Coating, and they do. Those guys.
Love them.
Wally.
Yes, personally.
I call it Wally World.
Yeah.
And but they are amazing, and they fixed my son's car and did a great job. But yes, bring it to us, because when we send it over there, we make sure factory parts are used. No secondhand, second rate work gets done. It gets done correctly. Back up to factory specs, OEM parts only. So, and that's what you want, because the insurance company, they'll tell you where they want you to send the car. Joe's body, body bait and tackle, and where they'll try to get away as cheap as possible.
I was in a little fender bender and went to the dealer, not of course Lexus or Toyota, and was told, I don't know how long it'll take. We have to search for parts. I mean, what do you mean search for parts? This is the dealer. This is where the car came from. They said, we have to look in junkyards. And I went, give me my keys. I'll be leaving. So that didn't bode well with me at all. No.
That's
and
crazy.
I went to Classic Car Coatings and got my car fixed.
They're wonderful. Well, the original insurance quote came back. My son had the car because he's young, and so the insurance company just saw him as fresh meat, I think. And so they sent an adjuster out, and they told him he had $1,400 worth of damage. And I said, because I had seen pictures.
Yeah, out of Lexus.
And I said, please send that to me. So then I sent it over to Kenny and Wally, and then I brought the car over there, and they're, so then they got on the phone with the insurance company and said, hang on, send the guy out here, and we'll walk through it with him. And then the adjusted estimate was $4,300. So they were really
off by a lot, weren't they?
Well, could you imagine what were they going to do?
Yeah, what were they going to fix?
Not much.
No, not everything.
They weren't going to replace anything, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but with leasing, all of that is you're insulated from, from the things that go on. I mean, these things happen. I mean, it's my son. It
Life
just
on the
happened
highway.
to me, and here we are. So I just lived through this, and yes, thank goodness he listened to me for once and leased his car, and life is good. Everything's good.
Yeah.
So that's those are the reasons that people look at that option. Certainly a great option. So that's what's going on in the world of L Certified, and with the spring sales event, we have a great selection, and because we knew this was coming, and we've geared up for it, so we are loaded up with L Certified vehicles, and we've got I mean, we've got ESs, our top-selling sedan. We have RX, of course, which is our best-selling vehicle, and that is our midsize SUV. We've got NXs. We've got LSs, pre-owned LSs, because as the new models come out, now we've started to get some of those in on trade. Beautiful, beautiful cars. We've got an RC, two-door. So we've got the best variety, and selection that we've had since December to remember. So come on down. We've got interest rates as low as 2.9% on L-certified vehicles. And
so money's affordable too.
Money's affordable, great discounts, great selection. And if you're thinking about an L-certified vehicle, now is the time to do that. And, you say, well, it goes to the end of the month, so, I'll get down there in a couple weeks.
Don't wait.
Well, the problem with waiting is that this great selection that I have here in front of me right now will not be the same great selection 2 weeks
Well, because
from
an L-certified is more like a one of. It's not like you can wait for the next batch to come in.
It really is. No, I mean, we don't get, you don't get a lot of 2016s with 15,000 miles on it. I have one now.
Right.
We just took in a 2015 GX yesterday, and we haven't had a pre-owned GX on our lot in 2 months. So, not one of our higher volume vehicles, but wonderful vehicle, great demand. And when we get one, it doesn't stick around very long.
Sure.
So, that's why you want to come out now. That's why you want to take advantage of it now, so that you can have your pick of colors, miles, price, models, and take advantage of it now. Never been a better time to do that.
And it's a way to step up too. If you're driving a ordinary car, and you want to get into a Lexus, this is a perfect way to do that. With an L-certified Lexus.
Oh, it absolutely is. And like I said, once we get you, once we have you in the brand, we hang on with both hands and we don't let go. We'll spoil you, and you won't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, and that's amazing at a car dealership.
We shock people every day, because they really come in expecting the worst, and
they're trained.
Yeah, and they're so pleasantly surprised, when it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. And speaking of that,
but that's something to be proud of.
We are very
to stand out from all the rest.
We're very proud of that, and we talk about it every day. And it's not an accident. We hire people, that reflect, that mindset. And I get.
Do you ever hire anybody in the industry and they come around and they're like, "Oh, this ain't how we did things before"?
Oh yeah.
They have to relearn.
Well, a lot of times we wind up not being able to hire people that, that
they can't shake those old habits.
They have a hard time. So, and I get compliments on our staff every day. I have guests come up to me every day to tell me, this staff member, that staff member, just everybody, we came in contact with today was just smiled, couldn't do enough to help us. And that's mission accomplished for us.
They're doing everybody's doing their job.
Everybody worries about the final, the end result. Everybody worries about, selling a car. And we don't talk about that at all.
The Lexus sells itself.
Well, it's a great car, but if it sold itself, I wouldn't be here right now.
Okay, well,
so
it needs a little help.
It does, and here's what can happen: the cars are great, but if the people aren't, you'll drive that guest away from the brand.
Yeah.
So where our job is really just not to screw it up. And I think we do a great job of that. And people will come in and just are blown away by the experience. We talk every day about just focus on the guest, focus on the process. The end result will take care of itself. If you take great care of that guest, and the Lexus Covenant says, treat every customer like you would a guest in your own home. And that's it. I mean, that is it right there. And that was that's their covenant from 1998 when they started, 1997. and it's never changed.
So I'm not going to sit in a cubicle with hungry children for hours waiting for that last piece of paper to come with the final price.
No. If we just focus on the guest and focus on a great experience, we'll sell plenty of cars. And that's our focus. And it shows, and people know that. So we're not, from the minute you walk in the door, pressuring you and, are you buying a car today? Yeah. We don't do any of that. We ask our guests, we have actually a guest sheet, we call it, when a guest comes in, so that we can find out what they would like to accomplish today. We ask, because everybody does it differently.
So you're not going to take my trade and throw the keys on the roof?
No. Our roof's too high. I can't reach it anyway. We ask the guests, what would you like to accomplish today? Instead of, because everybody's different. Some guests want to come in and say, look, I've had 4 Lexuses. I know what I want. I know that color. Let's, boom, we're done. Others, hey, I've just started my shopping process. I'm going to drive 10 different cars. I'm just here today to drive the Lexus. Okay. Well, obviously, we've got to approach those 2 guests, completely differently. So we ask a lot of questions, and we listen. So I think that makes it just a very positive experience. We break down a lot of stereotypes, and we are different. And people, the best compliment people pay to me is when they come and find me, because my office is dead center. You walk in the front door, I'm dead straight ahead. And so people can find me very easily. My door is always open, so they'll walk right in. And the best compliment is when they tell me that, I could feel it when I walked in here. I could feel the difference. And that,
there is a vibe. No matter where you go, there is a vibe.
Good or bad, right?
Yeah.
And when guests come in and tell me that, then I just smile from ear to ear, because that's the mission. Well,
you have guests that come just for a car wash and a cup of coffee.
Yes.
They hang out in your beautiful showroom
and watch TV and read the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, that's not happening down the street.
No.
I don't think so.
No, but that is, and it sounds, when we say it, it sounds, well, that's pretty easy. Why doesn't everybody do that? Well, it's not that easy, because it kind of goes against human nature a bit, because we're all in sales, right? So how are we judged? How are we graded? Well, by the sales. So it's hard to get away from that mindset and not worry about the sales. It really takes work, to kind of reprogram people to thinking
and don't let them leave without buying a car.
Oh, my gosh. Our guests are so funny. They're like, you can't pressure our guests.
Okay.
Yeah, they've already got 3 cars. They're like, I don't need another car.
I'm just looking.
I want another
You're
car.
right. Yeah.
But so yes, you can't, and they can buy whatever car they want. So, we can't trick them or or
so
pressure
why not
them.
just give them tons of customer service?
Yes. So because it's got to be their decision.
Right.
They have to come to us, and we respect that, and we appreciate it, and then once we get them, then they're ours, because we'll just continue to spoil them and continue to give them and provide them with great service, right through the service department, the parts department, so that cycle, that circle of life keeps. We're all Lexus. It's all about Lexus. So, and Lexus supports that effort. Couldn't ask for more.
We're out of time this week.
All
Treasure
right.
Coast Lexus, just south of Midway Road on US 1.
5121.
So stop in, see that LS, or pick out a great L-certified vehicle while the inventory is good.
While we have them.
Yeah, because time is ticking.
Yes, it is.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Veronica.
You're listening to WPSL Port St. Lucie, WSTU Stewart.